All right. Yep. Woke up this morning, had a shitty match, shitty FPL. I'll cover both. What a tough night. Um, yeah. Um, if you guys don't know, this is a couple of Spursies. Like, subscribe, and yeah, I'm from Brunei, so this was tough. Watch because it was like late at night. Had a long week, and yeah, came back from a exciting transfer window, and I'll highlight that transfer window, not preseason. Um, and yeah, we lost 3-0 against Brentford. A well drilled team. They kept their core together, kept their coach, and yeah, they knew how to play together. And I think they upgraded their squad with Sangare, which I will cover a bit later as well. And yeah, and seems like the team just wasn't. And I think Deserby said it right. The team just didn't feel like it wasn't a squad, but I feel like it was more than that. I feel like it was like the team kind of was waiting for someone else to come in and help. That was the tough part. Um, Someone was waiting for someone to make a decision or whatnot. But yeah, let's just cover the squad first, right? Kinski, fine. Robertson, I think did really well, honestly, but isn't supposed to be our first left back. Udogi didn't even go to the World Cup. Why the hell is he not in the squad, right? Why can't he stay fit? Why is that always an issue? Senesi, he was part of the World Cup squad. I think he chose to come to the squad earlier than what he was scheduled to. Shout out to him. But I don't know. I've never seen him play so uncomposed. He was so aggressive. Whenever he lost the ball, he just rushed forward, which broke the back line. Um, yeah, and again, before I go through the other players, let's count how many new first 11 players there are. Okay, and I'll include Kinski because he was a sub keeper. So Kinski, Robertson, Van Hecke, Senesi, sorry. Gallagher, you can count him part of the team already. Um, Tonali, and more. That's six. And you could argue Gallagher is like point 0.5. So there's like 6.5 of the squad are people who are new to the team and whatnot. Yeah. And I don't think that's the problem. I don't think they even played together this preseason, right? Let's look up the team lineup for freaking Hoffenheim. Give me a second. Yeah, that's a tough thing. Like, I think we just had a really crap preseason. Like, I don't think, um, I don't think the Derby was happy with it. I don't think the players were happy with it. And like, yeah, you could say like, oh, we were undefeated and whatnot, but against what? The only challenging team we had was Chelsea, and even that was kind of lucky win. So this is our lineup against Hoffenheim. So this was kind of like the fit 11 type of. Yeah. So yeah, Kinski, Robertson, Senesi, Van Hecke, Gallagher, Richardson, Tell, Gray, Brookwell. Oh my God! Actually, it's exactly the same team. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's wild. See, I'm realizing as we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But again, it was against Hoffenheim. Whatever. But yeah, but if you were going back to my argument, if you were to kind of argue the first team for Tottenham, this wouldn't be it. This wouldn't be even close to it. It would be Kinski, Udogi, Van de Ven, okay, Van Hecke, maybe there. Um, Gray shouldn't even be the right back. It should be Pedro Porro. See? And the midfielders are supposed to be Matias Fernandez, Tonali, and Madison, maybe. Or Savi, Yeah. Maybe the attacking line is closer. Again, I know people have opinions on Richarlison, and he also didn't do well um, this match, but um, he, you know, he has done well last season. He just had a really bad game. Tell had a very promising preseason. I thought he was gonna blow, but yeah, he just blew in the wrong way. Um, More, yeah, he missed a few one-on-one chances, but he's young, so it's hard to put it on him. Yeah, and that's the problem which is crazy because Spurs brought in players so early, and 6 weeks didn't do anything, and then suddenly they're like, we're signing Savinho and Marmouche, but we don't have them for the game week 1. Um, but again, I think Brentford game, if I were to think logically, we were gonna lose anyway or draw because they're just a well drilled team. We always get effed over by these teams. It's like I know this is a crazy statement, but Brentford is like the mid table Arsenal. They're just so well drilled. They've always been. Even with Thomas Frank out, they were always well drilled somehow. Um, it's just so disciplined, such a disciplined back line and whatnot. But yeah. Okay, yeah. Keep going through the players. So as I said, Kinski. The second goal was tough. He kind of threw it, kind of punched it to a Brentford player, but I understand again. The shot was, he saw it last minute or whatever. Honestly, I don't even remember the third goal. Oh my god. Can I quickly just watch the highlights? Okay, I'm gonna pause. Pause. Yeah, no, that was the longest 2 minutes I watched. Yeah, let me put the screen away. Um, but yeah, second goal, Kinski's mistake. But the other two, it was tough. Like hit it fine. You know, yeah, I don't know. What a tough match to watch. I think he just blocked out the match. But yeah, hit it all right. If I were to rate him, maybe I would give him like a 6 or 7. I don't know. Nah, I can't give him a 7. I'll give him a 6. Robertson did better, 6.5 maybe. He um, kind of did what he was supposed to do, especially in the beginning. He was fine, he put some balls in, but yeah, Richarlison, yeah, we'll talk about him. No one was just in the end of the box or even threatened to be in the box. Yeah, Sinesti, I've talked about it. Whenever he lost the ball, he kind of panicked. He kind of ran forward. But again, it's so hard for me to say panic because he kept on doing it over and over again, which made me think like maybe Roberto De Zerbi told him to do it. So yeah, I'll give him a 5. Um, Van Hecke, quite kind of bad performance. There was one time that Tonali or Madison, I forgot, but yeah, put a really good ball in, and he chose to fall. He didn't fight for the header. He just chose to try to claim for a penalty. But I don't know. For me, they just head the ball. If it gets effed over because of the pull, a shirt pull, then you claim the penalty. I don't know. But instead, I don't know. I don't know. I'll give him a 4. But just because I know he could do better, and he's been part of the preseason. Um, Gallagher was fine. Again, he always plays like a consistent 6. You know, as in consistent 6 out of 10. He's like all right. Sometimes he does a bit better, but never that bad. Um, Rich- Richarlison, yeah. I kind of don't even want to talk about him, type of thing. Yeah. Should we have sold him when we had the opportunity to? Maybe. But that's the thing. If we sold him, then who are we going to have in the front line, right? Because the problem is teams don't want to sell their strikers. Yeah. And people could argue, uh, freaking, who is it? The striker. Who's the freaking Bosnian striker? Give me a second. Yeah, some people might have said like, Vlahovic was open. He was a free agent, but nah, bruh. I don't think he wanted to go to a tough league. Where did he go? Where did he end up going? I thought he wanted to go to Besiktas. Yeah, I think he just wants to like I don't know, get his stats up, score some crazy goals there, like Osimhen. Yeah, I don't think he was ever. Yeah, Osimhen was also kind of an argument, but again, his salary was too crazy. I guess you could argue Tottenham's salary situation is already crazy now, but yeah, whatever. It's gonna get too crazy, you know. But yeah, Tal again looked great in preseason, but this time I don't know. He did some flashes of brilliance. I would give him 6.2. Maybe next time I'll do a proper team rating so I could have it visually here. But yeah, next time. Yeah, Gray again. He did okay, but you always know that he can't replicate what Poro does as a right back. I think he's a good functional right back, but he is not the wing back that Poro is. Is anyone even the wing back that Poro is? Um, well, yeah, Poro literally won a World Cup. So yeah, no offense to Gray, but he did his best, but it was tough. Bergval. So I think this is the part where a lot of people, I think even Deserby kept on talking about him, how he had a bad match. Yes, he did have a bad match, but I don't know. I don't. Bergval's such a mixed bag to me. He's so young, has high potential, but at the same time, whenever whenever you watch the match, if you just look at him, he's always asking for the ball. But you kind of think, what are you gonna do after getting the ball? Because he's so like, so physically like, pass it, pass it, pass it. He always does that, but he does nothing with it, and it's so confusing. Because I like people who like wants to be on the ball, wants to do something, but he doesn't, and it's so weird. I don't know what's the point, of him asking for the ball like that, or unless it's like just I don't know to get I don't know. I don't know. And he doesn't even look up sometimes. He doesn't even look up forward to make a cross in or whatnot. He just looks at the opponent, tries to dribble past him, but he couldn't, and he just passes it back. And sometimes I feel like there's opportunities for him to look up and like, okay, Andy Robertson is on the far left. Let me just quickly switch it there, spread out the Brentford defense, but he doesn't, and it's so confusing. Um, but yeah, again, it's easy for me to say, but yeah, I just think again, Pedesa Madison would have, and when he came on, he did right. We'll talk about that a bit. Um, Tonali, again, decent match, decent player. Couldn't do much with what was going on around him. But yeah, again, I would give him a 5, just because we didn't see a lot as much as he tried. Okay, actually, I'll give him a 6. But he, yeah, he just didn't have support around him. Because Tonali is supposed to be the anchor, but Val's supposed to be the one that brings the ball forward. But yeah, again, we already talked about how Bergvall struggled. Mikey Moore got in good positions. We don't have depth in that position at all, so we're playing a youngster, which is crazy because it's game week 1. It's not like preseason anymore, or even like a Europa Conference League match or whatever. It's literally game week 1 of the Premier League that we need to prove that we can stay up and compete. But yeah, Mikey Moore got in good positions, but he's just so raw. He's just so young, and it's so hard for us to be like he's not good enough. It's like yet, you gotta for these youngsters, you gotta say yet because yeah, they can improve. Let's talk quickly about the subs. Yeah, Danso had a really bad preseason. Every match he played, he got red card for freaking Chelsea, and after that, even when he featured in Hoffenheim, he did awful. And I love Danso. I don't know what's going on with him, so that's something maybe for him to think about. Madison, amazing. Honestly, I think he looked really bad in the Hoffenheim match, but yeah, he kind of he just showed up, right? He tried to make any things happen. I think whenever he was on the ball, even the Brentford players panicked and fouled him. Udogi, this is a thing. I love Udogi. I think he's really underrated, and I feel like people forgot how good he was. The first season he was with us, and he was younger then. He's more like experienced now. He just keeps getting injured. That's the annoying part, and I don't know if that's something to look at. If it's like, you know, again, I'm not a sports doctor or whatever, but if it's gonna be like do a surgery and he's gonna be out 3, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, just do it. You know, it's so annoying. He's in like 2 months, two matches, he's out. One match he's in, he's out. 4 matches, oh, it looks promising, and then he's out. It's like, bruh, you know. I don't know what needs to be done to Doggy. Yeah. Matias Fernandez did okay, but I think it's because of how bad Bergval looked. That's why Fernandez did well. It's so hard talking about the 3-0 loss, bruh. It's so demoralizing. And I haven't even covered my FPL. My FPL did so bad. Um, Solanke, again, this is the thing. Like, I'm sometimes confused what De Zerbi wants as the number 9. He wants someone who can link up play and, like, Marmouche, Krupi Jr., and whatnot. And Solanke can, right? Um, and Richarlison's supposed to be able to, but I don't know. I feel like Asroff recently, like, yeah, I don't know. He hasn't been linking anything, you know? He just bodies the player as much as he can, and he just does the first touch that looks awful. Sometimes that first touch is to control the ball, sometimes it's a pass, and both are always awful. But Solanke should be better than that, and I don't know why. He never looked dangerous. He, I think, took one shot that got blocked. He just never, yeah, you know. But again, that's the thing. How many preseason games did he have? That's the problem. That's a big problem. Because in our first preseason game against freaking, what was it? I have no clue. What was it? I'm gonna sneeze. MK Dons? Was it? Um, Maybe there was a previous preseason game. But Matias Fernandez, Bentancur was playing, you know? And I think Madison played as well, you know? And I'm just like, what happened? Literally. What happened? You know? Why were they playing and suddenly they were out, you know? That's the annoying thing with Tottenham. We have a squad, but they're just not fit, you know? I don't think De Zerbi would be like, oh, we don't want to play them. You know, he's openly said he's managing their minutes because I think all of them have underlying injuries that might react. But why? You know, why do Tottenham players have such a bad injury? You know, it's a crisis. You know, as always. The past 2 seasons, especially. Past 3, actually. But yeah. Bentancur did well, very composed. That's what we needed from midfield. Um, why he wasn't playing, I assume because he hasn't had a full preseason. But yeah. Are we at a point where we're working towards game week 2, which is wild? What a waste, you know. That's a point or 3 points that we could have salvaged. But yeah, again, Brentford's such a good team. Davies didn't play. Williams, Barnett, yeah, maybe we would have played better than some of the players. You know, that's the thing. But yeah, when the sub came on, we did look better, which feels encouraging. But yeah, I don't want to take credit away from Brentford too. You know, I don't want to say like, oh, Spurs just played badly and Brentford beat us because of that. Not really. Um, it's a mix of not enough preseason matches for some players, and so the new players didn't gel, and the freaking the senior team players who are good, they play in the World Cup and are not fit. But I don't understand because Van Dijk is with Van de Ven. Van Hecke is with Van de Ven. Why isn't he in the squad? And I'm sure some Spanish players are already playing. You know, that's the thing. Like, why is Tottenham being so like, let's not play these players yet? You know, I don't know. It's so confusing. And maybe again, you want to say like, oh, they don't want to have an injury run season as well. But we have one game week a week. I don't understand. You know, just my God, what a depressing. This is not that depressing because this one affects me personally. But my FPL. Oh my god. Okay, one, two, three, four, five, six players blanked, and this is what pains me the most. Sangare in my midfield. Last minute, I took him out. Last minute, my justification was Muhamirovic might get a clean sheet and DEFCONs because the defenders' DEFCONs are only 10, and the midfield the DEFCONs are 12. But that counts for a reason because if midfielders have the same amount of DEFCONs as defenders, they're always gonna hit it because wow, how many DEFCONs did this guy get, bruh? Okay, he got 13, but still, you know, he was involved in every action of the match. This is what I hate sometimes when I put someone in the sub and it's like whatever they do in that match, I'm just like, wow, you know, like please don't do anything, please. And it hurt. LaFay and Hume didn't do anything. That hurt. I was considering putting Sangario Ings instead of Hume, but again, having three promoted clubs against my defense looked good, but sometimes you gotta also think about the club that's playing because United lost to Hull. Half happy about that, you know, because I made a bet with my little brothers. If you didn't watch the previous episode, that if Spurs finish lower than United, they'll take this channel. So I'm very confident that Spurs will finish above United, but wow. But again, you could argue Man United had a worse loss because it was against Hull and Tottenham was against Brentford. But yeah, again, and I think last season Tottenham never lost against Brentford, if I'm not mistaken. I think they drew both, like 2-2 and 0, I think. But whatever. Yeah, you know, tough FPL week. And I think I'll make a FPL video / preseason, a pre-game week 2 match. Yeah, this game got me shaking my head. Yeah. I sent my siblings a meme. Let me show you. It's literally my expression at like 70 minutes of the match. It's like I thought I knew something but I didn't, so I'll just shut up, you know. It's like, whoo, this is tough. That's exactly how I felt. And it's crazy, if I put Sangare in my freaking squad, bruh, my team would have blew, you know? Yeah. That's how bad everybody's doing. Look at the average, 23, bruh. That is awful. That is awful. But yeah, I'll be lucky to reach 50 points. Yeah, which was my aim. My aim was to reach 50 points each game week at least, so I can be top 100k or top 50k in the world. Sad, but it's fine. We move. Next week we're against Newcastle, who should be struggling way worse than us. And let's hope this game was a wake up call, because if it isn't, I don't know what is. Maybe losing to Hull. But yeah, still hopeful with the season. I still think Tottenham will finish in top 4. But that is my own biases. Will it be an easy top 4? No. A lot of things will need to go our way. But like this game, it just didn't. And yeah, we got punished. Let's see if there's one more thing to cover here. Okay. Nothing much, but yeah. Sad. Again, having Archie Gray as captain was pretty cool, isn't it? You know, a young guy with huge potential. Look at him. He looked proud. What a sad first match to be captain for, you know. And yeah, let's hope for a better game week 2. Coming you Spurs. And that's it. Bye bye from Brunei. See ya.